welcome back to the channel. Unfortunately, it's not good news again. So what I was hoping to be showing you today is getting the car into colour, but I'm just not having any luck with it. So I've flatted down the roof again, high builded it again, dust coated it again, got it absolutely perfect, and I mean silky smooth. I've left it for just over a week, hoping that basically it'll find any potential faults, and I'll show you what's happened. So right in the centre of the roof where I had the issues last time, if I turn you around, got a bit more splitting again. So there's obviously an issue inside the paint there. So you can see where I rubbed that section down last time. There's just a bit of an outline that I left in of spray, and we've just got some slight imperfections in it. So what I've decided to do is I've ordered some U-POL Barcoat. So this works with the U-POL primer that I'm using. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to rub that back down again, go down to probably 240 grit, because this apparently is quite a thick isolator. So I'll 240 that, just this section, Barcoat it, leave it about an hour and a half, then high build it again, then flat that high build, maybe later on today, maybe tomorrow. Other than that though, I've got one little imperfection that I got here. I've raked out all of the seam sealer. So once I've got the roof ready, we'll re-seam seal that, and then we're ready for top coat. All the sides done. All here's done, raked out seam sealer again. All the front ends done again. I do understand if I get a thumbs down again, because this has been going on a while, but it's the reality of painting a car at home and not being a professional body shop. I'd rather leave it, wait, and make sure that I don't get these problems by doing it this way and taking longer, and everyone that's looking at doing it is then obviously going to be able to see what happens. I actually had a look at some more footage from when I first did this, and where I've been trying to go pretty anal, to be honest with you, getting this section smooth. I noticed on the earlier videos there was a lot of rippling, which is like what I left last time. But again, I wasn't happy with it, so we'll do it again. It's no big deal. And then we'll get on with the bonnet and the boot eventually. Right, I'll see you in a minute. Right, I'll just show you where I'm up to. So left it a couple of hours now. So as you can see, I've give a Barcoat here, done a couple of spots on the roof. I've also done the front lip here, take you round, and then we've done the A-pillar. Had a little bit of a reaction just down, which I've rubbed down. And then I really wasn't happy about this panel, so you can even see the paint stretched a little bit there. So what, I'm gonna have to leave this to go off even longer, I think. Alright, so it's now the next day. I've primed this area here, but when I've rubbed it back with the DA, just had a bit of cut through, so I need to reprime that. I actually decided to rub down the gutters a bit, and I've used some of the Barcoat on the gutter trims on each side as well, so that I can give that prime, hopefully not get any cracking whatsoever, and then I can seam seal it. Done all down here, redid this quarter last night, and I've rubbed that back this morning, and we're looking brilliant this time. Obviously there's a few slight scratching marks, but that's in the actual primer below the Barcoat, so that'll be high builded. Rub back down again, hopefully be spot on. Done this corner, as you can see where I've rubbed it back, just to go back a little bit and get a bed. Most of that will come out when I rub it back down again, which I'll show you in a minute. And now what I'm going to do is strip the paint off these. So just picked up this. I was in the shop before, so I just picked up that. Hopefully I'll go over this. I'll put it on time lapse, I think, so you can see if it works. I was gonna, well, I did try sandblasting it a bit, but it's going all over the place, so I'm just gonna metal strip it, and hopefully it'll go into all the little gaps as well. So I'm gonna crack on with that. Right, the beginning of this video was on Saturday. It's now Wednesday. Went into Sunday, and in the end I decided to strip the roof. So I'm going back to the original paint and the original filler. Now, the reason why I've done it is I just felt that the paint was getting too thick. So I've stripped it right back. You can see I've got steel here. I've got my sanding blocks, keep it all nice and flat. The problem that I then had is just getting rid of the last bits of the paint that I did, the top coat that I did a month or so back now, and I had a disaster. I'll show you what that was. Right, so this is where disaster struck. I've lost compression in one of the chambers of the compressor. It was running on the D8 absolutely flat out. It was nothing to do with the heat or anything like that. It was just flat out, and it was too much for it. I did a little bit of research, and I'd been running it probably 2 hours completely flat without a break. So I will order myself a rebuild kit, and I'll probably rebuild it. The other thing I'm thinking of doing is using the tank off the compressor, and I will use that on my new compressor. Now I've decided to go for, it's 150 litre and the other one's 100, and it's the Clark Industrial. Now it's only the 3 horsepower one because I just felt like, I was going to go for the 4, it just seemed like it was going to be too much. The only problem with this one is I can't have it in my enclosure that's out in the garden because it needs to be run off my 30 amp supply. Apparently it will work on a 13 amp fuse, but it can kick out the fuse, so I'm going to have to, underneath here, under the consumer unit there, I'm going to make a new enclosure there for it in the corner of the garage. Now, to be fair, I went for a belt driven one this time, and it's significantly quieter. And then I've got a little moped that I will be doing a video on in the future. I'll show you in a second. And I've used the old airbox off that, and that dampens down the noise quite a lot as well. Quick look at the old town, mate. It's not insured at the moment. I normally go out with a mate of mine on them. I need to reinsure it and get the MOT sorted. It's had the extension, the COVID extension, but I'd rather get it MOT'd. But I will be putting the little moped out in a future video. So, once I've got the new compressor in its position, not going to be making the enclosure quite yet, but once in its position, piped up, need to get my water trap fitted to it. I'll fit that all over this end, so I'm going to have to move all that. I'll be able to crack on. Now this compressor runs up to 150 psi, whereas the other one was only up to 115. And if I add the other tank to it, which is what I'm thinking of doing at the moment, I'm hoping it's going to work the sander and everything much better. So I'm going to crack on with that. I'm going to leave it at this for the video for now. So thanks so much for everyone that's watching. Thanks so much for the patience on trying to get this thing ready as well. I do know that it's probably getting boring for people seeing it keep getting rubbed back, but the way that I'm looking at it is just the reality of getting a car ready to the standard that I want to try and get it to. I just felt I wouldn't be happy with the roof, so it was just too thick. And when I put that bar coat on and I realised how thick the bar coat was, when I flatted it and then high build again, I'd had the original paint, I'd had the top, the original paint, I'd then had the primer, the high build, then I'd had the top coat, then some high build, then the bar coat, then high build, and then the top coat again. Just really, it was playing on my mind is probably the best way to put it. So as you can see, back to bare metal in a lot of the spots, top coat, primer, all it wants is a reprime once I've got all the edges done. That's a little bit of the new top coat there and there, and then we'll get it back into primer. I'll just show you the other corner. So this is where I did have a little bit of an issue. So this has been rubbed back down again. It's had a little bit of bar coat on this, but I rubbed it virtually all the way off, and then I've touched it in. It's been now maybe 4 or 5 days since I did this, so leave it a little bit longer, make sure the lines are sharp, give it a wet flat, and then this will be ready for paint as well. Alright, so sorry for waffling on, but thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, do consider subscribing to the channel. Look out for the future videos on it. I may well do the video on the new enclosure that I make as well. The other enclosure videos had quite a few views now. Actually, it's starting to take off a little bit with views, and that's all coming from YouTube itself. Happy with it, but this compressor's too big to fit in it now, because I thought if I'm going to buy a new one, I might as well buy a better one. Alright, thanks very much.